Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of your faithful trip. It started in the firmament, and then we all got tricked. Life was great when we were young, with all the things we believed. Then it all got hard, unbearable, and we know we're being deceived. Forgotten, ignored, secret, and hidden. Topics that talk about how water is knowledge. Now drink from the fountain. Let's pour some on you now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Play Mundane Show. I'm Alex. Today, what I'm doing is a follow-up to a video I made 6 days ago on March 2nd. It's called Scar Revision Plastic Surgery. And what I did was I had plastic surgery 6 days ago, and I had it on my left cheek, and I have an incision there. And what I did was I had a scar removed, so I had taken pictures on the first day and the second day, or no, just the first day. I took 2 pictures, and then I talked about it, and I talked about what it was like to be on the operating table and why I had it done. But let me show you some pictures first. Let's get started with some pictures. Let's skip that one. All right, look at this picture. Okay, this was right when I got home, about an hour and a half after the surgery. This was, if you see my cheek, all around that incision, my cheek is rounded and swollen. That's full of injected lidocaine and fluids from the anesthesia, from the local anesthesia. I wasn't under any general anesthesia or any kind of IV needle or anything like that. It was just not even an ibuprofen. I just laid down on the table and he stuck the needles in my face, just like when you go to a dentist and they put the needle in your cheek for a drilling in your tooth to put a filling in. It was just like, here, you're going to feel a little pinch. There you go. Ow, 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 ow. You know, breathe. And that looks all shining and everything because the nurse had put the bacitracin ointment on there and made it very shiny. But let me show you the next picture. This is also after I cleaned that up. This is about 30 minutes later, same day. This is the day of the surgery, about 2 hours after the surgery. And this is what it looks like stitched up. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's about 12 stitches I can count. All right. Now let's look at what it looks like today. I'm going to show you. Let's go back to this view, and I'm going to show you my screen. Okay, this is the picture I took just before I made this video just now. This is 6 days later, and I still have the stitches in. I get the stitches taken out tomorrow. But you can't see them as much. It's not as protruding as much. My cheek around it is not as swollen as much. On the lower part of the incision, you can see a little bit of the fatness and pinching of the cheek a little bit where the dark area is. But that will heal. That's where the knots are and the stitches mostly, and that will come out tomorrow. But my main directive from the doctor is to keep the sun, the direct sun, off of this scar, because whenever you have scar tissue does not have melanin, so you won't tan. If you put your skin out in the sun, you will tan. That's because of the melanin in your skin. Scars don't have it. It's been cut out, so you have to keep the sun off of the scar. That's why you'll see a lot of people right after they've had plastic surgery, they'll be wearing baseball hats and things for a while, or they'll have tape over your face. Or you might have certain celebrities that go around and they're performing with tape on their face and they say it's for this and part of their costume, but when it's actually covering up a scar because they just had plastic surgery because they had a little nip or a tuck. And I'm thinking about what was that, the musicians, was it R. Kelly? Who was the one that performed with the band-aid on his cheek and said it was because his brother was in jail? And I've wondered, wasn't that because he had some plastic surgery? So let's go back and look at that one. that is the day of the surgery. Within, I'd say an hour and a half right after that incision. And it's all dressed up with the bacitration gel. That's the antiseptic gel that keeps the bacteria, antibacterial gel. If you have a triple antibiotic, usually bacitracin, it's hard to say. I want to say bacitration. Bacitracin is one of the antibacterials that are in that gel. Then, when it's not so shiny, that's what it looked like. And then again, here is today. Looks like this. So the swelling really is got right around the incision. You can barely even see the line now looking, and you know there are stitches there. So that will blend in. I explained before why the physician put the scar at this angle. What I had there before, folks, was a pock mark. I had like a moon crater shaped round hole in my face. It looked like a deep acne scar, where I don't have any acne scars on my face, and that was it. I had a cyst from a clogged pore that stayed, and it got hard and bigger with me over a year and a half. And one day, I hit a tree with it, and I fell, and it ripped it open, and then I picked around it, and I pulled the cyst out, but it never grew back. So what I did was I made like this moon crater on my face. So, and I've had people ask me, at one point about a year and a half ago, I was talking at this bar with this woman I was hitting on, and she just pointed to my face, and she's like, "What happened to your face?" And I thought, geez, is it so obvious and radical and morbid and curious and ugly and distracting, that you're not listening to what we're talking about, and you're just trying to figure out what happened to my face? That's when I decided to get this surgery done. So I went to a local plastic surgeon that's near me. Actually, he's probably a mile away, if not less than a mile away. And I just walked in and said, "Hey, can you fix that?" And he gave me a quote, and I went ahead and did it. And I'm glad I did it because, I'll tell you, I've told people what this is one of the best plastic surgeons in the Houston, South, Clear Lake City, Seabrook, Nassau Bay, NASA Johnson Space Center area. And he said he'd fix it for $750. It took him about half an hour in his operating room with his tools and nurse. So there was some cost involved for him, but it was a quickie with his overhead. And he's probably done thousands of these or more, making incisions in people's faces. And what he did, the reason why the line is this way is because when you smile, like on this side, see, I've got a natural wrinkle that kind of goes this way, right there. And so he's trying to match when you smile, or any tension between your mouth to your ear, the muscle's going this way. So your wrinkles are going to be perpendicular. And see, on this side, it'll eventually just become, even if you can see it, it will just be another laugh or a smile line. It's not going to be a major deal, and it's going to be way better than the circular moon landing crater shape I had before. And any line, as long as you don't keep it red, keep the direct sunlight off of it. I cover it with Band-Aids all the time, and I probably will for weeks or months. Even while I'm working, or even tape, later after it heals, I'll just keep putting tape on my face if I'm out in the sun, so that I make sure until it's fully healed, which is probably, I'm thinking, 3 to 6 months. You want to keep the sunlight off of that. So, no, I'm happy with it. It's gone down quite a bit. There is of a dark spot here towards the bottom, but what that is that's where it's stitched up, and the cheek is a bit pinched there. But once those stitches come out, that redness, I think, will stop, because there's a lot of thread in there. You might be looking at thread. But I'm so excited just to have the crater gone, the cyst. It was called an inclusionary cyst, is what the doctor said. So if you're thinking about getting scar revision, I told you in the prior video, the doctor told me he had a friend whose wife had a scar on her eyebrow, just a big, strange looking thing, and he removed it for her. He told her at dinner one night, he said, I have to remove that for you. And she wasn't even thinking about it. It didn't bother her. She got used to the way people look at it, or or distracted by it, or she doesn't notice, or she's not even thinking about it. She may have grown up with it most of her life, I think he said. But it's not that much of a setback to get something fixed, okay? So do it. I would recommend scar revision. Contact your board certified plastic surgeon that has a title called FACS, and then his fellows and his boards, and go get it done. Someone who's done it 1,000 times and knows all of the correct techniques, like that smile line I told you about. Look at that. When I do it, it disappears already. So thanks for coming to Play Mundane Show. Thanks for reviewing my video. This is my second video in my plastic surgery vlog for this scar revision. Off the topic for my normal videos, which right now I'm doing a project on coronavirus. If you'd like to learn more about coronavirus, come out and check that out. Please hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. And just wait till I put out another video. And I'll see you later.